This is part 3 of the daily reflections reading for October 11th, 2025. And I just left off with, if you can show me how there's no self-restraint in ending up in treatment, even if your method of entering into the program was this one where you're proceeding about your drug-taking ritual of the day, and something goes wrong and law enforcement gets involved, those are typically public safety officers, and they arrest you. They arrest that behavior. They stop your drug taking, at least temporarily, and then they hold you like in a cell. For how long? Overnight? The next, maybe years? But I'm just saying that even though you didn't want to do this, and you caused a way to get law enforcement involved in your life, and they stop your alcohol taking, say, and you get the chance to escape in a couple different ways. Your court, they let you go on your own recognizance. It's up to you. But, mind you, you have court in 2 weeks, you better be there, or all this is going to come crashing down again, really bad. So, you got 2 weeks to drink. And some people do that. I did that before, and it was not the right move, McFly, because I didn't employ self-restraint. I just got right back to drinking. Like the being arrested and all this didn't even happen. And then I get to court and the judge is throwing all this stuff at me, like he should, rightly, or her. And, there comes a time when they just say, you know what, this is the third time you've been here for this. I'm throwing you in prison. Teach you a lesson. And that happens. So, in a really backwards way, there's some kind of self-restraint involved there. Well, that isn't correct. But just think about it. They say your court date is coming up in 2 weeks and you don't drink, or you don't drink the night before court. You decide, wow, tomorrow could be a life-changing day. Maybe I don't need to get hammered tonight. Maybe I'll only drink half as much. That's self-restraint. So, tell me some way that you got into treatment that there wasn't a little bit of some kind of self-restraint involved. Because you can avoid that. You don't have to go to treatment. I mean, even if you're locked up in manacles or whatever you call them, handcuffs and I get like this, man. And this is part 3, and it's getting late, and I've been talking all this crap for a long time today, and I've lost my point. The first objective, our first objective, will be the development of self-restraint. Let me read this again. My drive to work provides me with an opportunity for self-examination. One day while making the trip, I began to review my progress in sobriety and was not happy with what I saw. I hoped that as the workday progressed, I would forget these troublesome thoughts, but as one disappointment after another kept coming, my discontent only increased, and the pressures within me kept mounting. I retreated to an isolated table in the lounge and asked myself how I could make the most of the rest of the day. Excuse me. In the past, when things went wrong, I instinctively wanted to fight back. But during the short time I had been trying to live the AA program, I had learned to step back and take a look at myself. I recognized that although I was not the person I wanted to be, I had learned to not react in my old ways. Those old patterns of behavior only brought sorrow and hurt to me and to others. I returned to work. I returned to my workstation, determined to make the day a productive one, thanking God for the chance to make progress that day. I keep getting not tangled up. I just want to talk about having this chance to make progress each day, wherever you are. Rather than where this person says, in the past when things went wrong, I instinctively wanted to fight back. And for me, I instinctively wanted to drink. Maybe that's fighting back. It sure isn't like getting on team sobriety. Tiniest little bump in the road, and here I'm back in the drunk tank within no time. I finally learned a bit of self-restraint, just enough to quit that kind of behavior and quit going back to standing in front of the judge with the same kind of charges against me. And, you know, I was saying a bunch of stuff in part 1, part 2 about how it's very difficult to see any kind of progress. So it might be discouraging. And then I said again, I've been sober 20 years. Step 10, continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. I don't remember one, but not too long ago, I was doing a inventory at the end of the day, and I saw in my mind, I remembered some instance in that day that, oh wow, that was not nice. That was not comforting. That wasn't positive. And I lost my self-restraint, say. And now I need to make an amend to that. I need to fix that. At the very least, I need to quit doing that tomorrow or the rest of tonight before I fall asleep. And then in the morning, this is a key thing that I don't do every day because I'm human and I'm a lazy human, is pray for God to keep me from doing all this ridiculous, stupid stuff that I want to do all the time, like, say, drink or lie or steal or just a bunch of stuff, because I don't have enough self-restraint and I want instant gratification. That's another thing I'm trying to get across here, is that the drinking and being in America, even without money, it was easy enough to get a drink. So if I had some difficulty and I wanted to fight back, it wasn't very difficult to instantly get loaded. It really wasn't that hard. And then if you have some money, it's even easier. And then if it's daytime in a weekday, it's just almost a given that I'm going to be loaded as soon as I want to be. Loaded meaning drunk on alcohol. It isn't that difficult in America, at least. It has been my experience, even without money. So, rather than doing that, the self-restraint and putting aside the perceived need of instant gratification, and maybe working for this chance, thanking God for the chance to make progress that day. I mentioned this in part 2. I think that as soon as I decide that I want to fight back, I don't want to do the work, I want to get drunk, as soon as I start doing that, like as soon as I open that beer, the chance of me making progress that day have dropped in half, almost entirely disappeared. There's no way I'm making progress now. I got an open beer in my hand. take one sip and that day is shot. I'm getting drunk by the end of that, because that's what I do when I drink. That's what I used to do. I suspect it's going to be the same again if I start that again. So I just like, okay, that's not on the table. I'm not doing that. Have some self-restraint and understand that even wanting to not drink today is progress. So right there is another reason to stay sober till I go to bed. Sleep on it, and maybe somehow tomorrow will be a better day. And, you know, they always are. It's just the most amazing thing. I'm crying. You know, because that is such a gift. Put the cork in the bottle. Stay sober just overnight. Don't give up. Don't drink. Go to meetings, get a sponsor. Listen to that. Do it, and things will change. I don't know if they're going to change for the better, but probably. There's a great chance they will. And then you have that chance to make progress. As slow and difficult as it may be, what does the Alcoholics Anonymous big book say? On the bottom of, no, about in the middle of page 84, are these extravagant promises that maybe the day will be a little bit easier tomorrow. If I go to bed sober tonight, get any amount of rest, that tomorrow will be a different day for sure, and maybe it will be a different, better day. Are these extravagant promises? I'm not going to go through that whole list, but we think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them. And put aside the instant gratification and get to working the steps, and these promises will materialize, sometimes slow, sometimes quick, but they will always happen. It's a promise. Believe us or not. So I'm going to need to quit now because the battery's going to die, which is quite a stunt because that's a lot of talking I've just done here. So thank you for coming by here today, and I'll get back with you later. Goodbye. Keep up the hard work.